Okay, you guys. Last time that we left off, Izuku had unlocked his one Tomoe Sharingan. Now, since I can't see the time because my time's glitched right now, I'm just gonna estimate when I stop. Okay, so Izuku goes to school, and I'm gonna say this was in like 8th grade. Now, when Izuku goes to school, everybody notices Izuku looks a lot different. This is what Izuku looks like. Yet people notice that his hair turned from green to black, and his eyes turned from green to black. And also, he got a lot more edgy. Now, people also noticed Izuku was carrying around a sword like this, and he just wouldn't let it go. Now, before Izuku went to school, he woke up 2 hours early. Izuku had ordered the night that everything went down his sword, and I'm gonna say it's been 2 weeks, and now it's like 2 days away from the end of the school year of 8th grade. So that's when he got his custom made sword that looks like this. Now this sword is infused with chakra, and it's not like what was his name sword, Itachi's partner sword. No, when it takes blood from people, it takes blood from people and infuses it into two things. Oh, three things: chakra, health, and basically how long he can keep his kg on. So the more he stabs you, the longer he can keep his kg on, or his dojutsu, I should say. Now, Bakugo walks up to Izuku, and he's jealous that all the girls are looking at him because look at Izuku, bro. Like, most girls could not resist this. No homo, bro. If you guys just thought I was hitting on Izuku, I'm not on that gay shit. But anyway, Bakugo walks up to Izuku, and he grabs him by the shirt and he says, "You quirkless nerd, what did you do?" He says, "What? All I did was..." Actually, I don't even remember what I did. And everybody just does that anime falling thing, and then he's like, "What do you mean? Your eyes just can't turn from green to black." He says, "Puberty," and then everybody does the falling thing again. He's like, "Puberty does not change your fucking eyes." And he says, "Okay." Izuku then says, "Okay, you want me to be 100% honest with you?" Bakugo then says, "Yes." Izuku then explains that he unlocked his quirk, and his quirk changed his hair and eye color. Also, it improved his looks. Bakugo then asked, um, Bakugo then asked Izuku what is his quirk, and then he pulls out the sharingan. He pulls out the sharingan. Now, this is the three tomoe, but at the moment he had the one tomoe. So this would be more accurate right here. This would be his tomoe sharingan. Now, sorry that half the picture's cut off. It was like taken weirdly. Let me get a better picture. Something, dang, like, why are all them? That is not even one Tomoe. That is two. Do not people not know how to count? Sorry if I'm going through like a lot. Please be right. Okay, good enough. Um, I don't care if it's two Tomoe, just imagine one Tomoe. Now, he has his one Tomoe shining up. You know, I'm gonna keep on looking through this bitch while I'm talking. He then activates his two Tomoe, and Bakugo then looks inside of his eyes. And then Izuku faces away from him. He says, "No, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Because if you look inside of my eyes, then you'll get caught inside of a illusion." And then Bakugo then says, "Do you think I'm gay?" And then he says, "No, that's not what I said. Mm, a power of my quirk is, if you look inside of my eyes, I might accidentally put you inside of what I call a genjutsu. Now, a genjutsu is basically a false reality that I can bend to my will. Now, he then he then explains what his powers are. He then says, "Well, my main powers are I can slow down time, but my actual speed of myself has to match up to my time slowing ability. I can copy simple things like I can copy your explosions since they're a type of ninjutsu. Now, quirks were just basically some type of ninjutsu that was kind of changed just a slight bit." He then says, "But certain quirks I can't because they're known as Genkai." Now, these are very special quirks. No offense, Bakugo, but your quirk isn't special at all. Bakugo then says, "Who are you talking to, you quirkless nerd?" He, and then Izuku says, "It's just the truth." But anyway, Izuku then says, um, "My other abilities are Genjutsu, and I'm pretty sure that's it. The more Tomoe or the more dots that I get on my eyes, the faster I get and the more time slows down." So Bakugo then says, "So basically, since you have your what you call a sharingan, so that you're getting faster, it doesn't really matter what I do, as long as I'm not on the level of you." He says, "No, as long as you're not on the level of a ninja's speed. If you're not on the level of a ninja's speed, then you can't catch up to me. But if you are, then yeah." Everybody just face palms. They're like, "Is there any way to like defeat your power?" Izuku then says, "I'm still human. My power doesn't really change anything. The thing about my power is, when I see something or something happens to me that is very sad or gives me a strong emotion, I unlock another Tomoe, or I skip over my Tomoe and I get Mangyakyo. Which, if I get Mangyakyo, I'm probably gonna black out and kill you all, so you guys probably shouldn't do anything like kill a dog in front of me." Everybody's like, "My bad." Everybody's like, "Wow, okay." Now, Izuku then says, "I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna apply for UA. And also, by the way, by the time the 10 months of training is over, I might have my Mangekyo shutting on depending on what happens." Now, the reason that he says this is because Madara has been hinting at something very bad happening to Izuku. Izuku asking him, "Is there any other way to unlock his Mangekyo Sharingan?" And he says, "Do you have any siblings or people that you care about?" Which Izuku does, but they don't live close to him at all. Now, On the second day of the school, Izuku, after the first of the second last days happened, or if that made sense, the second to last day, Izuku just started training his butt off. And by that, I mean he just turned on his sharingan and used it throughout the entire day until his sharingan turned off. Then he saved up chakra. Then he did it over and over and over and over and over again until it advanced to a second Tomoe, and then he did it into an advance to a third. Now, he can't do this for Mangekyou, of course, but, you know. Eh. Now, right now, his Sharingan is up to here, so this is where I'm going to have it for a while. Now, I'm going to say, Izuku on the 10 month of training, he meets a girl. I don't know any anime girls, so I'm just gonna look this up. Cause I literally look up random anime girls. Bro, people are simps for anime girls, bro. I'm gonna say she looks like this. Not because she was the first thing that I saw, because she was the cutest thing that I saw. I don't give a fuck. I will not simp, but I will tell you when somebody's cute. Well, something. Now, he saw her bending over, and Izuku was like, I know my clan goes blind after using my ability too much, but I ain't blind to see that she got some cake. She got some booty. That big old booty. Now, let me stop. Now, Izuku goes and talks to her. Now, she thinks Izuku's funny because Izuku's like, give me that number. And then she's like, wow. That is not what a normal person says when they see somebody that they've never seen before. Some people at least try to be a little bit subtle. Or be like, okay, I ain't gonna front or something. And he's like, I ain't like the rest of these people. I am myself. So if you could be yourself and get me a date, I would appreciate it. And she's thinking of saying no, but then Izuku's like, I'm not gonna put her inside of a genjutsu and then make her say yes, because that would be rape. And he's like, but I will at least make her say yes to the date. And then he turns on his Kekigenkai, which his Sharingan then starts to swirl around. Which, if you don't know what that looks like, can't show you, my guy, because I do not have anything to show you with. And I don't think of any of these spin. So I can't really show you right now. Now, imagine he's spinning inside of a circle. Now, he looks her dead in the eyes, and then he says, "You will say yes," and then she says, "Okay." And then Izuku turns off his Genkai, which when Uchihas put somebody inside of a Genjutsu, they didn't know it happened. That would be stupid, because then they would know that they were put inside of Genjutsu. No, she just thinks it was her own idea to say yes. So they go out to dinner, and Izuku is, of course, is paying, since he was the one that put her inside the Genjutsu. And the only thing that he can see in front of him is just, her sitting down. And he basically just starts up a conversation. He says, well, what's your quirk? And she then says, well, my quirk is matter manipulation. I can make, destroy, or do anything of matter. Izuku then says, so you basically control reality itself. She says, I guess you could say that. I mean, if I was caught off guard and killed, I can't really, well, I can. I could give myself more cells, but in that moment I would probably be in too much pain to actually think of something that smart. She then says, what's your quirk? And Izuku says it's a new quirk named the Sharingan. He then he then closes his eyes and reopens them. And then he says, this is the basic skills to this basically slow down time. And depending on how fast I am, depends on if I can use that to my advantage, or if it's just the fact that I can slow down time. So if I can't move um, as fast as other people, then the Sharingan is basically useless. It just depends on who's using it. And then he turns it off, and he looks her in the eyes, kind of shyly and like this, and he then says, "Well, this was a fun night. Shall we go to your place?" And the girl's just shocked. She's like, "Wow, just just wow." She's kind of like blushing like that, but just remember she has silver hair, and she's like, "You know what? I'll make this your lucky day. I'll actually take you up on that." So she takes him to her place, and they do the doodah. I mean, like he said, "I wanna get freaky with you." But anyway, he used his shutting. I'm just gonna make this one joke I have too. He uses his shutting on to give him more stamina, and bro, he was going for hours and hours. My guy was the one. My guy was the one beater defeater. All he needed was a few hits in before she started getting tired, my guy. Like, I mean, like, do I have to say more? Do I have to say more? Do I? I'ma say more. He was giving her that, and giving that, e. But that's not the point. It's not the point. Now, Azuku and her then start dating. Because she's like, okay, you hit this, but if I end up pregnant in the next few days, we're gonna have to start dating because my parents are not gonna accept that. So she then says, okay, since you didn't want to use protection and your pullout game was weak, she says, how is your ability slowing down time and your pullout game is weak? Like, how does that happen? And the worst thing is you gotta barely twitch your eyes just to turn it on. Now, Azuka's just looking down at the ground in shame with this face. Like, he looks like he doesn't care, but he's embarrassed inside. And he's like, it wasn't that easy, bro. Like, it takes more energy than you know. Now, now, his girl and him go on a date a week later. Now, they're walking down a shady corner, and she's like, doesn't this look like a shady corner? And he's like, yeah, now that I really think about it, this does resemble a shady corner. And then as soon as he says that, a guy sneaks up behind him and then hits him over the head with a metal bat. That's night night for Izuku. Izuku wakes up hours later to see three different men running a train on this girl. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. As I was saying, he sees three different guys running a train on this girl. Like, just imagine saying something like that to an innocent girl like this. Now, Izuku, Izuku gets up inside of pain and rage, like absolute rage, and then he activates his Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, I'm gonna go for this. Now, this right here is his Mangekyo Sharingan. It looks fancy. The Simon Sharingan. Number 3, right there. Now, his ability was super speed. Telling you his abilities. Koimi, Amaterasu, and Tsukuyomi. Now, he uses his super speed ability to instantly run towards one of the guys, grab him by the chest, but he was going so fucking fast that when he grabbed him by the chest, his arm went straight through his chest, and then he's just grabbing his heart. Now, the other two men are just inside of complete fear. Since this was a Mangekyo Sharingan ability, his eyes are bleeding. Don't get me wrong, he's in pain, my G. But basically, he looks over at them and then he says, "Do you know why you don't wait to see who someone is? Or at least wait to see their quirk first?" One of the guys just get out of the girl. I'm gonna call her Izumi. I know it's usually used for Deku's sister's name, but I'm gonna call her Izumi for now. For right now. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Basically, Izumi, one of the guys get out of Izumi, and he basically holds up a gun and shoots at Izuku. Now, do I even have to tell you that this doesn't work? He grabs the bullet, and then the other guy goes charging at him with the metal bat. Now, he tries to hit Izuku. Izuku puts him inside of a Tsukuyomi and mind fucks him. Pause, pause, pause. He destroys his mind with a Tsukuyomi. To them, it's been 1 second. To him, it's been 1,000,000 years of torture. No cap. 1,000,000 years of torture. Just imagine how your mind would be broken because you're like, at this point, I'ma just stop caring about anything. So he's completely mind fucked. Now the guy holds up the gun to Izumi, and Izuku's like, please, 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 chill out. If you don't pull that trigger, then I won't kill you. I'll beat you up, but I won't kill you. Now, he gets closer to the man and then he says, "Get away, or I'll shoot her." And then Izuku tries to use his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities. But the thing that the man noticed was when he used his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, his eye would circle around. Like, the tomones out of his eye would circle around. So, he would use the super speed ability, which the man pulls the trigger, which then Azumi falls down to the ground off of a trash can that they were fucking her on, and starts to die slowly. Izuku looks at the man with such hatred and despair. My bad. He looks at him with hatred and despair. Just imagine this guy with hatred and despair in his eyes. And he basically does a flash step, grabs him by the neck, and then he uses infinite Tsukuyomi. Now, this wasn't enough for him. So after trapping him inside of a genjutsu, he combines his first off, when this happened, by the way, yeah, this was enough stress to give him the fucking rinne sharingan. So this nigga is powerful as fuck. So yeah, and this gave him enough anger to combine the rinne fucking sharingan with with the fucking Mangekyo sharingan. So yeah, that's why this looks like this. But it combines the Mangekyo sharingan, and instantly he grabs his sword and plummets it through the man, which his genjutsu was so powerful that it did not put his his mind into a genjutsu. It put his fucking soul in the genjutsu, my nigga. He was not getting out of that shit alive, no matter what the fuck he did. Now, Azumi, Azumi's bleeding out on the ground, and Izuku looks at her, and then Izuku's like, "Please, please, 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 don't leave me. Don't leave me on this earth. Please, I can't go on without you." A dying Azumi looks at him in the eyes, and she says, spitting out blood, "Go on without me. If you do this, I will allow half of my soul to merge with your body." Now, she then says, "Promise. Promise." And then Izuku says, I promise." She then says, "Don't ever break this promise. You have to keep on going on. For me." And then she dies. Now, when the reason that she was able to merge her soul was because first off, she had matter control. She can control fucking reality, my nigga. So she just merged her soul with his. Now, after that would happen, Izuku would transform into a mode like this. Red scarlet hair, and his sword would completely change. The red from his sword went into the crystal, and the silver went into a white slate. Now, imagine this, but his sword actually being black, like the sword itself. And he then screams out in agonizing pain. Well, she then screams out in agonizing pain inside of this new mode. Now, this isn't permanent. This is his most this is her most powerful mode. So he passes out, and when he passes out, he goes back to his normal state. He then wakes up inside the hospital. His 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 mom and the girl's mom and dad are beside him, and then And then he looks up at them and he says, "Azumi, what happened to Azumi?" They then say, "Izuku, she's dead." That's where we're gonna leave it off, you guys. If you guys enjoyed this filler part, um, hit that little subscribe button. See you later.